Algorithm. Oh, or freeze on the internet.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Now, with Eric Weinstein and his theory of geometric unity, and just having wrapped up on Dr. Brian Keating's YouTube channel, all I know is algorithms might be algorithming, and this is supposed to be smart. So, he has a theory of geometric unity. That's essentially a theory of everything in theory or hypothesis, something like that. What it's supposed to do is basically explain how everything works together within the greater physics world and everything. So it's like, all right, here's how things blend together. I listened to about an hour and a half or so of the actual presentation, like once or twice. I'm like, all right, I haven't heard anyone question the math. I don't understand it. But I'm like, all right, you're talking about curving, you weave this in via angular momentum, yada, yada. Okay, so you've solved for universe, essentially. Okay, what does it mean? Did you model something and it works? Or is there a way to reduce it to something easier? So, now that we've talked about math and stuff, let's talk about memes. What am I talking about memes? I'm talking about memetics here. Basically the gist, the vibe that you get from basically everything, whether it's a little picture with some words or something, or literally just certain things, kind of like dubbing, kind of like YOLOing. Why? Because it was a thing. It's something that we pick up. Sometimes it's cultural. Sometimes it's, I don't know, epiphenomena. I don't even know what that word is. Now, what is it? It's how we take each other. It's basically, all right, well, this person is nice to me. Okay, I like them. This person wasn't nice to me. I don't like them. Okay, it sounds very simple. Now, isn't this why they say initial interactions are very important? I don't know, like I remember people telling us that. Is this why? Does it give it a certain weight to those initial interactions? If you don't like somebody when you start off, it's like, all right, well, isn't it going to be harder for them to kind of win you over? I don't know. But if they do, does that give a greater bond? I don't know. That kind of sounds like physics there. Transition, states, fusion, fission. I don't know. I'm probably a psychopath. So, again, how do we weave it all together? Can we deconstruct this down? Because what's he doing? He's measuring all different factors from, I don't know, thermodynamics, electromagnetics, gravity. That seems to be the one that we haven't quite got yet. It's like we need to get gravity on a quantum level. Well, Newtonian stuff works, but we don't quite know how to quantize this. What is quantized? Basically, every little state that it could possibly be in, and we kind of weighed it and we kind of get the calculations. It's like gravity don't seem to work that way. Why is that? I don't know. Could it be that gravity is operating on another dimension? Could there be another dimension or dimension or something? Maybe those black holes are actually white holes, other places adding in. All I know is if you add another dimension or two, when I kind of explain the extra dark matter and dark energy and just kind of the conversions between the dimensions, I feel like those transitional states may account for a lot of this energy. I don't know. I am not a physicist, a scientist, or any real type of science person. I'm a scaly on the internet. And this is important. Why? Because I'm eating my own tail. You see how this goes, the circular logic? Universal truth number 10. Things tend to come full circle. All right. So now that we've rambled on for a little bit, and I see we have some friends there. I see we have the Bone. He's in his cat form, as well as Joe. Hail Joe. Shout out to Joe and Dave M, my patrons. This broadcast is helped make possible by viewers like you, as well as we get a Vash in the house. Welcome, Vash. Good to see you all, as well as there might be some people who are watching on other social media. Why? Because we need to connect the memetics. This is the thing. People may know you in one form. They may know you in one state. If you can introduce them and you can actually act in a consistent fashion over those multiple states. Many people do. Even I am influenced. I don't know. When we seem to try to measure photons and stuff, they seem to go, what are you doing? I don't know. Are we confusing them on another dimension? How do we achieve these other dimensions? I really don't want to go to the statement that the four most dangerous words on the internet. Alex Jones is right. Now, when we do hear that, and it occasionally does happen, very often, there's been a little bit of an exaggeration. Again, I stand by, had he been on the Sci-Fi Network, would anybody really care? Again, I've heard War of the Worlds confuse people. I don't know these things. I'm just saying that if we let loose Laplace's algorithm, which we may or may not already have, more or less, basically, if we had perfect information, you might not always agree with what a person does, but I think you're usually going to get the gist of where they're coming from. Because when you actually ask people straight up, what's your story? It's like, a lot of people have been through some really rough stuff. Dude, I've been extraordinarily blessed in my life. I'm totally privileged. I'm a freaking trust fund kid. It's like, you screw up your life. It's like, you ruined basically set investors. Why? Because I was lazy. Because I was lazy. I'm entitled. These are true things. Now, how do we figure this out for everybody? I have no idea. I see you there. I see you there, Loaf. As far as all this goes is, all right, if we're trying to solve for the universe via physics, well, in order to try to actually solve that, we need to be around long enough for it to actually matter. Because all I know is if we're essentially on the cusp of, you know what? If we actually cleared the caches of hatred from our heads and our hearts, we could be literally in Star Trek in like 1,000 years. I don't know. Boats, 1400s or so. We got like Latin sails, maybe a little bit earlier. It actually, no, maybe it was 800. I forget. History is important. You get that Latin sail, guess what? You can ride against the wind. That opens up additional dimensionality, some may say. I don't know. Was any of this planned? Do we just kind of do stuff and things here? Well,
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
I like how he taps his foot. But we do these things because we can. And you know what? If you're having fun, and I realize I don't freaking know everything. I ain't God. But if we are created in the image of God, and all of us does have a bit of a divine characteristic, well, I believe in infinite fractionality as well. If we're all made in the image of God, if you get enough folks over enough time, it's like if we collectively pool our knowledge, if we strive to be like God, when we search God out, how would we do that? Well, we'd need to explore the heavens. How would we ever do that? If only we had a method. Likely a scientific one. If only we had a map to try to help figure these things out. Now, apply it to us. It's totally possible. We have ways to show the receipts. Things need to be voluntary, though. Consent matters. How am I going to sum this all up? All I'm going to say is, aside from you go your way, I'll go Yahweh. I love saying that joke. I totally ripped it off from a movie, but maybe not be so quick to anger. I don't know. If folks are always going to be peopling, shouldn't we account for that? Why should these things surprise us? I'm just saying, small kindness can go a long way. I think that's universal truth number 4. I'll have to double check. All I know is we can do better. Why? Well, we got to level up. That's what the shirt says. Thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody. Be safe, and long live the elbow bump.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자